And we are live. Hello. Hello, Snow. What happened to your audio?
Sorry, muted myself, of course. Muted myself, forgot to unmute myself.
It happens. It happens. So today we have a little bit of an interesting stream, right? Um, I've been speaking to a team called Avail Project for a while. I've been seeing them all over the timeline. Well, maybe just my timeline because I'm technical like that. And I like what they've been building. So I reached out to them. Well, kind of just like tagged him. I was like, "Yo, anyone want to have a chat with me? Let's have an interview. Let's just talk something. Let's have a little bit of a conversation live." And someone actually replied, so we'll be having a conversation with him today. Before we do that, do you have you had a chance? Have you actually seen Avail on the timeline, or is this going to be your first kind of introduction to Avail?
Mine?
Yeah, yours.
I've seen it only because you started talking to me about it. I hadn't seen it before and I was surprised because they do have a lot of followers on X. So I was just, and I've always kind of looked for a product kind of like theirs. I'm always interested in as I said, in like products in Web3 that make my life easier. It's like the most
Mm-hmm.
important thing for me is like something that makes my life easier and that I want to use every day. And so I was surprised that I hadn't known about them or seen anything about them, and I was glad that you had like started commenting on their posts and like you kind of like dragged me into it. So I'm like super excited to actually learn more about them.
Okay, okay. So I think that already sets a really cool precedent. So before we bring on Robin, Avail Project is a DA, or they started out as a DA, so data availability, which is it's super technical to get into, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say it's generally how projects, well, chains, I suppose, get information from like on-chain data. Like we'll keep it there at that very high level because I feel like any more details and people are going to get confused. Um, but what we will be really focusing on today is the latest product, I suppose you'd call it, which is Avail Nexus. And like Snow said, it makes your life in crypto so much easier, and that's kind of where we want to be. We want the crypto UX to be as easy to use as just effortless. You don't want to have to think about how you're going to go about all those things. But we'll take a look into that in a bit. So I think, do we bring up Robin and give our introductions?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So here we have Robin. Hello, Robin.
Hello, hello, GM,
So
GM.
GM. Robin is a DevRel for Avail Project. Now I'm not quite sure what that means and like what kind of what DevRels do, honestly. I've only been a full developer, so I don't really know what a DevRel is. But I think it's maybe you can give us a little bit of insight into what you do at Avail and how what you do kind of impacts everything over there, and whatever other interesting information about yourself too and related to Avail.
Yeah, definitely. So I think DevRel itself is a very open multi-hat role. Like you wear multiple hats uh, on the job, and I would like just like you mentioned, right? You are a developer, and there are many other developers out there. And what DevRels are a bridge between developers and the company
Hmm.
itself, right? So we kind of because we already have marketers that try to talk to maybe retail and try to build a brand narrative, but when it comes to the actual product on that's developers actually using those products for most cases, right? For most
Hmm.
web3 projects is usually infra, especially for Avail's case it's an infrastructure level thing where developers are actually interfacing with the product, and that means there needs to be a bridge between the actual product team and the developers that are using them, and that's where DevRel comes in. So we create the docs, we create the the guides, the videos, the content, We talk to developers, integrating solutions engineering, integrations engineering, and all of that stuff, including basically advocacy, right? Getting the word of it out there so that more developers know about it. So when they do need a product that is similar to what we solve for, they know that we're there. And that's kind of the thing that DevRel does. It's like a bridge between marketing and product within the company and developers, uh, like external developers who would potentially want to use the product itself. So that's what I do at Avail. Similar stuff. I work on docs. I'm on the solutions team. We talk to teams, try to bring them over. We talk to developers and founders and see who would be interested to build on Avail. Bring them over to the business team, all of that stuff, and then finally have them integrate and go to production. And the entire job is to basically streamline all of this, make it as simple as possible for these developers to build, so that there's very less touch points needed at the end of the day for them to integrate with us.
Interesting. That's actually really cool. I did
That's
not
really
even think. Yeah, go ahead, Snow.
No, I was just gonna say that's really cool. I didn't know there was like even honestly like a role that existed like that needs to connect like the devs with like the marketing team. I just because it's like I honestly have never worked at like a company like you do, and, like is such probably as big as Avail. I've only worked for like an NFT project, and as I said, most of my knowledge goes as far as like NFTs. So for me, it's all like super new and like really interesting.
It
Yeah,
is
definitely. Yeah,
interesting.
so it's like so NFTs are more consumer oriented
Mhm.
stuff, which so they wouldn't really need DevRels as such. I think it's more of like these NFT platforms or like NFT teams who are probably they are going to be probably using some developer tools to build that stuff. That is where we usually come in. So like it's
Mhm.
based on what type of company you are in. Not all companies in Web
Yeah,
three need
yeah.
it as well. So it's just the matter of like what is the company selling? What are they focusing on? What the product is? So yeah.
Yeah, and it's just so interesting to me. Um yeah, Sins is here. Hello, Sins.
I sense. Okay,
We're just
okay.
learning about Avail, but go ahead, Alpha.
So it's kind of like David positions are basically only really relevant when you're kind of doing business to business type, I mean, well, business to developer type things, which is usually only business to business. So interesting. That's very cool. It's less of a business to consumer, and more of a like when you build an infrastructure, you have dev rules because that's how you coordinate between different infrastructures. You're not going to need a dev rule if you just like, oh, here's our marketplace that you can list your NFTs on. Doesn't really make much sense at that point because that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Cool. That's actually a really cool position. Thank you for that introduction to it. Um, for anyone that is watching, if you'd like to check out Avail, there's a QR code on screen for that. You can just scan that and it will show you everything. Okay, wait, let me move it there. Boom, it's bigger. Just like click that, well,
Oh,
scan that QR code and you can go check it out. Um, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, someone, I was on a stream and someone said, okay, but what if the person's watching on their phone? Wow, don't watch on your phone. Okay, problem
right.
solved. You can check out Robin's socials too, linked there. Oh, before we get into the more nitty-gritty things also, I was showing Lost Know everything like around Vale yesterday. We were just like going through a bunch of things. And the first thing she said was like, after I sent her your profile, she was like, I see she is using a, what's it, a pixelated avatar. Is that like an NFT or something? So maybe you can give us a little bit of insight into that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really an NFT or anything. It's just a design language that we've just adopted at this point. So, I mean, before
Mm-hmm.
this, we just recently went through a brand redesign a couple months ago, and part of that is basically this new pixelated format. So, if you actually go to our website and like there's this video which starts off black and white and looks like a very real world, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
as you progress, like the old world, essentially, we like to call it, wherein like you need to do a lot of bridging, you need to do all these X and Y steps before you actually use the app. And then you see Avail kind of, engulf the world with this pixelated format where it's a new world, it's more colorful, it's more fun and vibrant. And that's kind of where it comes from. And we like have this mascot as well called Avail, which the mascot is Avail because a whale and a whale
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
a fish whale is like a pun. So like yeah, that's kind of what we did. So like the pixelated whale, the pixelated characters. So yeah, we just kind of adopted that.
It's really cool because it gives you guys a okay, so when I see somebody in Web3 or like crypto that has their PFP as like their IRL face, just like a normal picture of themselves, I'm like, I don't trust this person. You have to be a cartoon character for me to trust you on X.
Yes, yes,
That's funny,
agreed.
eh? But it's true.
Like
You think it would be
everyone.
the other way around, but somehow it's just like you trust the NFT PFPs, the pixelated, the anime PFPs a lot more than the actual people's.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, and
It's
there's a cool
it's
question. ETH is values on ETH mainly. Wow, wow, that's going to be
uh
a fun one.
okay. Do you want me to answer that now, or like
yeah.
do I give?
I
Okay,
think
yeah,
Okay,
go
sure.
ahead.
go ahead.
Avail is actually a network on its own. So we have our own. So again, we have a bunch of things going on, but essentially, if you talk about what we originally was like a couple of years ago, we have a DA layer, which is a substrate chain. It's a standalone L1, which is very hyper specialized for roll up. It's a hyper specialized roll up infrastructure for data availability. So that itself is a separate thing. Whereas Nexus, which is our interoperability protocol, is basically a protocol that supports chains from ETH, Optimism, Arbitrum, all of the major EVM chains where you can interact, like basically move your assets across these chains and apps seamlessly. So is Avail on ETH? Yes, in that sense, like we do support Ethereum and ETH on our interoperability protocol. Um, but yeah, so the DA itself is a separate thing, but we support ETH in that sense. We are not like a DeFi platform or something, not an application on ETH. In that sense, we are a protocol that people can use.
Yeah,
That's really good.
yeah.
You guys support Solana.
Solana actually soon on Solana. We are live in a few weeks at least. Like it's in audits right now,
Mm,
so yeah, we will have a Solana integration. We were at Breakpoint just last week, talking to a
okay,
lot of
cool.
Solana devs.
Mhm.
I'm excited about all of this. So yeah, Solana is coming soon as well. So imagine you can use all of your EVM assets and take all of your EVM assets, deposit into a Solana app, and vice versa, like Solana assets on EVM apps as well. So no need of any bridging and all of that cool stuff. Yeah.
It is
That's really
really
good.
cool. Now,
I've become a
before
Solana max recently. But go ahead, Alpha. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to say you've been quite heavily on Solana recently. There's a QR code. Oh, showcase. Okay. So I put up a QR code that anyone can scan to check out the demo. But I see we got a showcase. So let us do that. Oh yeah, Sin says, yeah, you love hearing you guys. We had Breakpoint. That's awesome. Yeah, so a lot of the information I got from Breakpoint actually came through Robin and Avail. Because like I know we were talking last week and it's like I'm going to be at the Breakpoint. I was like, okay, cool. And then I've just been seeing all the Breakpoint updates from his side. I was like, okay, that looks like some really cool stuff going on there. So it's really awesome to also know that at some point we'll have the Solana integration also with the Nexus. Now, we do have a showcase, so maybe we should put that up there. Since is again saying, yes, Snow, haha, solve maxi vibes. it's interesting how people will generally be, maxis on certain things, but I tend to just I prefer to be agnostic about a lot of things, which is kind of where I love these sort of interoperability things like Nexus. And I know with Ethereum, what is it called? DevConnect? Is that the
Mhm.
one that was in Argentina? They announced something called EIL, Ethereum Interoperability Layer. So it's like these sorts of things, I just love them because they just make everything so much easier. But let's see, with Nexus, oh no, it looks like one of my my things didn't let me open the showcase now, so I'm just giving that now a birthday. Um, oh, since it's just messing with me. But it's like I do love that we seen a little more of a push towards interoperability now. Before EIR, I came across a Nexus, and I remember coming across it through Naruto. I think he's also a dev rel, or is he a dev?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he's a dev
So
at Avail.
he posted it, and then I was like, okay, but I've seen multiple interoperability protocols over the years. I've been in crypto for probably just about 5 years, but in this time, I've probably come across at least seven. A few of them, they were so bad. Oh my goodness. But I've seen a lot of them. So the first thing I asked him was like, okay, but what makes Nexus different? And he was just like, just go try it out. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it out. Tried it out, and then I was like, okay, but I have questions. And I immediately started asking questions, and then you and a few other people from Avail immediately started answering. I was like, oh my goodness, this is awesome. It's kind of like it really that kind of drew me in because it showed me a little more of how you guys actually do take note of things. You don't just ignore feedback. You don't ignore when people are asking questions about things. You actually had that where someone asked a question. I mean, I could just be a random nobody, and it's just like you guys are like actively answering. That was like really cool. Oh my goodness, we all disappeared. So that was like, I think that was like kind of one of those things where I was just like, damn, that stood out quite a lot because it was an immediate response, an immediate, um, how shall I say, acknowledgement of a question and a potential problem. But that was really cool. I think that was kind of one of the main reasons why I even thought, okay, let's look what's going on with the Avail. Let's look at what's going on with Nexus. Now, to explain maybe to everyone else a little bit what a Avail Nexus is, because that might be a little hard to understand. Um, do you want to give a short kind of explanation on it, or can I go ahead and try?
Yeah, I mean, I can give a quick, explainer on what we actually do, so that it's much more apparent what's happening on screen, right? So, Nexus itself is like this meta interoperability protocol that allows any user to use any app, like any Nexus integrated app, without worrying about what asset they have on what chain, right? And that's the core of it, right? Like our primary goal is to eliminate, this fragmentation of blockchains. We've got these,
Hmm.
50 hundreds of blockchains out there. People have liquidity across multiple chains. They probably forgot some of, where they bought tokens on. Maybe they have funds across so many chains. They want to try a new chain, or they want to try a new app, but oh wait, it's on another chain. Now I have to go ahead and bridge. uh, we want to eliminate that, right? Like for users and developers. Like for users, it's about, I don't have to worry about what chain this app is on. I just want to use it. For developers, it's all about, okay, I've deployed my app on XYZ chain, but now I see that there are users, a lot of users on another chain now. Like if I want to go cross chain and get access to most liquidity, I have to, usually on a traditional day, I have to, take my contracts again, redeploy it on another chain, and keep doing that and maintain my contracts across like 10 or 20 different chains, just to get access to users and liquidity from these chains, right? And what we our main ethos is like, Just build once and scale everywhere. Like deploy your Solana app on Solana, that's fine, but get access to users from Ethereum ecosystem as well. Similarly, if you're building on, like for example, Base, you don't have to worry about deploying on multiple different chains. Just build once and then get access to liquidity from anywhere. Like no matter where users have funds on, they're here to use your app. So let them use your app. Let them not worry about what chains they're using. And that's kind of what we do. So we kind of remove that complexity away. We uh, kind of allow users to basically bridge, execute, and deposit into different apps, in a single click. I mean, you have to do multiple wallet signings, but apart from that, like from a user UX perspective, is 10 times better than what exists today. So that's what we built it.
That's like the most useful thing that one can build in Web3. And for me personally, because it's like such a huge pain point. And I think that a lot of people who are like really into like crypto, they don't, because they're so used to everything, they don't really think about, okay, so if you have like a normal person, just because like I kind of almost consider myself as like a normie, even though I've been in crypto for 4 years. I am not like a technical person, and I wasn't even wanting to be in crypto until my husband kind of like convinced me with like NFTs. He was like, "Look, you can collect pictures in your digital wallet. Like it's really fun." And then, I got interested, but I'm not like, as far as like like, buying different crypto and like, Ethereum and Solana and all these other coins that are out there. I've always had trouble because it always like takes me a long time to like, and I'm always afraid, I'm always going into my wallet and I'm just like worried that I'm going to do something wrong, or like I'm going to send something to the wrong wallet, and it's just always like such a pain for me. And like something like that where it allows you to just, it kind of takes a little bit of the worry, and like, you don't, because yeah, like we all have, I do, me my, I also have like a bunch of wallets, and with a little bit of like gas money in every wallet, I have a little bit of Arbitrum, and I have to have a little bit of Solana, and I have to have a little bit of ETH, and I have to have a little bit of ETH on base, because it's all just like a mess, and I hate it. And there was only one app, and I always talk about this app because it was the best thing and the most easy thing to use for me. It was something called Slingshot, and it was like a trading app. And that app, like, you would go in there, you would just put USDC in it, and then you could buy any coin on any chain. You just click the button and it would just buy the coin for you. And I loved it so much. I'm so much in love with that app. And then Magic Eden bought it, and now they like kind of they closed it down, so it's not a thing anymore. And I was just so upset because it was like the easiest thing out there, the easiest thing to use. And so it's like I've been trying to find something that kind of worked the same way, like something just similar at least, because it's like for me that's like the most important thing. I just want to be able to just buy a coin and just not to just be so stressed out about it, and just for it to be like a little bit easier. So that's why I was also like super interested to learn exactly what Avail does and how it works, because I think to some extent it is like kind of a little bit similar. It's not like for trading, but it is like allows you to bridge and like swap like really with ease. And so that's why I've been so interested in wanting to learn more, because that's like that's like I hate, makes what makes life easy for me. Just had to go on a TED talk.
Like I said, we need to clip this part and then just put it as a like an advertisement for Nexus. And I'm like, see, this is what we're solving for.
Yeah, it's really
Uh,
cool.
Alpha, you're muted
I
right now.
can't. Yeah, Alpha is muted. Can't hear him.
Oh no, oh no, oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. I'm back. I was saying, every time Snow speaks, you just need to clip her, and that's it. That's like the whole ad. You've mentioned a lot of things that are like really relevant now. It's like um crypto UX, just going in from like when Robin was mentioning that we have like 50 different chains. It's a massive pain to move funds around. Yes, we've had a few things that have made things a little easier, like gas abstraction. We've had what's like what's that the paying forward thing? What is that called now again? The thing where the protocols can pay for your gas and all of those sorts of things. We've had all of these things that reduce part of the gas problem, but then we've also had a lot of parts that still haven't really gotten anywhere. Like we don't see a lot of 7702 support yet on most of the wallets yet. Like, but Abby, what are you doing? Come on now, seriously. We need the transaction batching. Like that should be like part of the first thing you do. But so there's a lot of these things that are there, they exist, but they're not really relevant yet. They're not useful in a way yet. And then we don't have the part that kind of connects everything, interop. We don't have that interconnectedness yet. Where it is, well, I suppose we technically do now have with Nexus, but we haven't had that. Oh, Nexus, awesome play, by the way. Nexus meaning interconnected, basically. So we haven't had that step. And I think with Nexus, especially, it's a really easy, easy to introduce thing where, um, you wouldn't go to Avail's Nexus product itself like Snow. You would actually just use it in whatever application you're using. So let's say you're on OpenSea and you want to buy an NFT, but the
Mm-hmm.
NFT is on, I don't know, let's see, the NFTs on Ethereum, but
Mm-hmm.
all your funds are on Base, Solana, and Arbitrum.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you need to move all of those funds over to Ethereum to even buy this NFT because it's going to cost you everything that you have. You have like 100 on Solana, you have 100 on Base, you have 100 on Arbitrum. Nexus would kind of be the part that takes everything, brings it over to Ethereum and buys the NFT, which I know because I've read the documentation. uh, but like it's such a interesting little thing, and it makes so much sense because it's and I would also is this only possible for you guys at least because you guys are using your Avail DA? Like I'd imagine it would be a little more difficult to accomplish this if you guys didn't have your own DA layer. I know it's a little more technical.
Um, yeah, I mean it's actually uh, it's actually what actually happens behind the scene is right now we don't use the DA layer itself, although
Mm-hmm.
like in this version of Nexus we have, but it is part of the roadmap. Right now we have basically a solver network that uses an MPC system
Mm-hmm.
for the verification validation of the cross-chain interactions. So basically, it works on what we call as an intent solver architecture. So intents are pretty
Okay.
common
Okay.
nowadays in the Web3
Yeah.
space. So, but what we do differently is that usually people use the standard called 7683, which is you create a request for you create an RFQ, and and you send it to a solver system. They kind of figure out where your destination chain is, what your source chain is, and they do the bridging, right? And only handles the bridging part of it. What we kind of add to that is we have multi-source input. So not only are you doing one is to one bridging,
Mm-hmm.
with Nexus you can basically bridge from n number of chains, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to n number of chains to your preferred destination chain in a single click. And once that happens, you can also you can call any function basically on a smart contract, um, essentially helping you to execute that function. So that means now if I go to an app like Avi, right, now I don't have to, if I want to like go to the arbiter market and I see USDC is at a very high APY, but I don't have
Mm-hmm.
any arbiter USDC, what I would do is in the traditional world, I would go to any of these bridging providers. Now I have to go to a separate app,
Yeah.
like a bridging protocol
Really.
app, right? Any of those, right? I don't want to name things, but like you go to any of those, you click your source chain, destination chain, bridge. Okay, great. I've got that one. Maybe 5K is deposited to my destination chain on Arbitrum, but I want to do 10K. All right. So I go to another chain. pick another source chain, I put that amount, I try to bridge again. Oh, not enough. Again, I have to bridge. All right, now I have my 10K. I go to Aave, choose the arbitrum market, and deposit. What you could do with Avail is like all of these three or four bridging transactions that you did can be just simplified into one nexus intent, wherein like we take the source liquidity from all these four chains, we fill the total amount that you need on the destination chain and execute whatever function you've called. So within the app itself, it feels like, okay, I have my unified balance of whatever how much amount I have. I click on supply, we bridge, we execute. It's there on the destination chain, and it's there. Like I don't have to leave the app, and that's what is the USP for products to come in and like apps to come in and integrators, because as like any product guy knows that the moment you make a user go out of your platform,
Mm.
the chances of them returning is like less than 10%,
Yeah.
right? So like because like if the friction is too high, they won't return back to your platform. And so the idea is that users do not leave the platform, they just click buttons and it's done, right? And that's the kind of experience that we kind of want to give. But yeah, so on to your question there, like are we using the DA layer right now? Not right now, but it will soon. And we're working on that currently in the engineering team. Right now, it uses this MPC network. Basically, intent is being sent to this solver network, and yeah, so the intent is being sent to the solver network. They verify the intent, they verify the deposits. The solver fills the intent, the fill is verified by the network, and then the escrowed funds are given to the solver. That's how it kind of works. Yeah, so basically how it looks like in the diagram. I would say like the arrows itself would go to Nexus, then Ethereum, but yeah, other than that, all of that, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, let me just make the circle bigger.
No,
No, no, no, that's fine.
we
But the point
clear.
is
I feel like
that.
it is clear how it works, but it's
Yeah.
very interesting. So for okay, well, from I have just a quick question. Do you, Robin? Do you know what like Fidgetos, for example, is that website? It's like Fidgetos is basically where everybody has been buying all these. This is a random one of my questions. Okay, I'm sorry, Alpha. I'm like butting in here with like one of my questions. Um, but I was just as you were talking about how this works, I was wondering. So, like for example, Fidgetos is a website where you basically buy like a digital NFT, and usually it's like the digital version of a collectible box. And then like people later on can claim for like a physical. Well, the thing is that when
Yeah.
you go to use Fidgetal, you can only buy, I think, in USDC or USDT. um, and last time I was on that website, I was having trouble because all of my money was either in ETH or Sol. So, like, is it possible to basically, like, if you need to use a platform like that to basically use, technically, I don't know if it's actually possible, but like, technically, to use um, Nexus to like get your whatever kind of whatever money you have wherever it is on, like, maybe let's say Arbitrum and like ETH or and like Solana or whatever. Well, not Solana yet, but maybe in the future, possibly it's coming, right? So like to take that money that you have and then just bridge it over to USDC. Like, would that work? Is that like technically like what we're talking about here?
That is also possible. So the normal way to use it is USDC to USDC, but actually we have this feature called cross-chain swap. So actually, Alf, if you go to the cross-chain swap part of the website there, you'll
Mm-hmm.
be able to actually kind of see wherein like you can put in any token, like so
Mm-hmm.
it can be your ETH or Solana, any token, you put in the
Mm-hmm.
amount, what your destination chain is, and the token that you
Mm-hmm.
want. So again, you can basically move from I mean, I don't know if you want to go to US, like if you want the destination token to be USDC on some chain, you can have that. If you want the destination
Mm-hmm.
token to be some meme coin like Pepe on
Mm-hmm.
Arbitrum, have that. But essentially, you can move you can basically move from any token to any token on any chain, and
Okay.
it depends on how the developer kind of integrates it. Like the feature set is available within the SDK itself. The developer has to kind of make sure that the UI kind of looks is simple enough for the
Mhm.
user to kind of understand that, right? Like
Mhm. Mhm.
that's I think that's a design issue that like today's world we don't have that yet.
Mhm.
Like user developers don't really design for that. The UI, they don't design the UI for such an experience, so it becomes a bit harder for them. But essentially, yeah, it should be possible. Like cross chain swap into any chain that you want, and then you can execute or like basically buy whatever digital that you wanted to buy. So yeah, it should be definitely possible.
Well, cause
That
yeah, 'cause exactly like that. My husband was having, cause again, I had to be like, "Hey, husband, I need to buy this. I can't buy it. Help me." So he had to come over, and like he struggled for like a while, and then he figured it out, and then he was like, "Oh my gosh, it was such a pain to like
your
do
poor
all this."
husband. Your
So,
poor husband.
so we've just been struggling. So I just
Y'all
wanted
need
to,
Nexus.
yeah, I wanted to ask, and that's really cool that it actually would like work. That's Why doesn't everybody use it then? Why isn't it integrated in everything? That's my
I think
question.
Oh, I mean, we
isn't
just
Nexus
got
recent? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we are on mainnet right now. We just launched mainnet for Nexus like I think last month, so it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty new in terms of that.
Mhm.
But if you are in the Monad ecosystem, we have a bunch of apps that are using it. So if you go to Clobberdex, actually I have the link. I put the link on the chat. Yeah. So if you actually go to the site, right, you can pull in your liquidity. Like if you even if you have no funds on Monad, you
Mhm.
turn on the unified balance, yeah, toggle, and
Mhm.
you like trade from USDC to anything. Like you can use our unified balance. So yeah, so you essentially will be seeing your unified balance there. Essentially, you can I think you can click on the drop down maybe. I don't know if, yeah, it shows you Monad, Arbitrum, BNB, right? So you use that unified USDC, it would get bridged to Monad, and then whatever swap you want to do, like so, suppose you want to buy some meme coin or like Mon, for example, right? So your
Mhm.
USDC from other chains are going to be bridged to Monad, and then it will get swapped, or like basically you would use a Clobberdex swap to execute the swap, and you get Mon at the end of it. So you don't have to worry about bridging to Monad. Like you just use this app to buy Monad
Hell yeah.
or any other tokens on Monad itself. So
I
we've
love
got a
it.
bunch of chains. Yeah, we've got a bunch of chains integrated, like bunch of apps integrated on Monad. We're working with teams to get this integrated. I would say in the next year, you would see this way more common in all of your apps that you're using. So yeah, I mean, fingers crossed for that. We are working hard to get it live on a lot of applications. So yeah.
Wow. I love it.
And
That's
then
cool.
at least for that also, like you guys' documentation, I'm sure it's going to make it so easy to actually get integrations happening.
Yeah, we are working on docs as well. So all of that combined is going to just super scale us, I would say, because I
Hmm.
truly believe we've got something really cool in the works. So
What did you want to say, Snow?
No, I'm just like it's like one of those things that it's like, I'm like I like it. It's like it's so cool. It's like we need more stuff like this. We need like more useful things in crypto, and it's like why isn't anybody making more useful things in crypto? Like what are we even doing?
yeah, no, I agree.
Definitely. It's like people have spent so much time on these, NFT launchpad, token launchpad, side quests. And it's just like too many people have forgotten that we first need the infrastructure to be able to
Right?
make things easy before you go and be like, oh yeah, just like use my really cool NFT launchpad. Like, yeah, I could, but I don't have ETH, man. I don't have USDC on ETH. So how am I going to use your NFT launchpad? I don't have, it's like people kind of really seem to have forgotten the most fundamental part of anything. The most fundamental part of user retention to user acquisition is UX. The better your UX, the easier it is for people to use what you're building or what you've built, the easier it is for those people to stay or to come back or to tell their friends about it. I mean, I'm not going to go tell my friend about this really awesome application where it took me 5 hours to buy NFT. I'm going to go tell my friend about this freaking amazing application where it took me 2 clicks and I bought an NFT and I didn't even know where the funds came from. Well,
Right.
I know, but yeah, it's like I didn't even think about it. It took me 2 minutes compared to 5 hours. There's a huge difference between that, and um, allow that Avail, especially with this with Nexus, is really focusing on that ability to really bridge chains in the essence. That's what we've haven't really seen properly done before, and it's really doing it in a way that's so different. It's so thoughtless. It's just effortless for the user, at least. For the from the user's perspective, it's like it's so effortless. You don't think about it. You just know, okay, if I click this approve and swap, it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And with wallets having like 7702 integration, so just so that people can, because I know that's a very technical term, but transaction batching. So certain wallets have transaction batching. So as an example, I just now connected my MetaMask, but if I use Ambire wallet, Ambire has transaction batching built in. So if I were to use Avail Nexus through Ambire, it would probably take me 2 clicks. Whereas if I use MetaMask, it would take me maybe 5 clicks, depending on how many approvals I must do. But with Ambire, it would be two because it would do all the approvals in one, then do the transaction on the second. So that's like a very big difference in that the UX has to get better. And the UX is getting better because we have tools that can complement it. We have tools that can complement the transaction batching. We have tools that can complement what's it like? Amber calls it gas tanks, Arabic calls it gas accounts. So we have tools that complement those things now. And I'm just to me, like I see this part where it's like um, when you use Amber, right? You don't have gas on base, but you have USDC on base. You want to move that and buy an NFT on Ethereum, but you also have maybe USDT on Arbitrum, and you don't have gas on Arbitrum either, but you want to buy this NFT on ETH. Maybe you don't even have gas on ETH. You use Ambi or you use Rabi, and we'll use Ambi because Ambi is a little bit of an example now. Ambi has gas tanks. You have your funds in your gas tank. They sponsor the gas technically, so you don't have to think about the gas part of it. You don't even know. You don't even need to worry about having ETH on base or ETH on Arbitrum. That's already taken care of. You have transaction batching. So even though it's coming from two different chains, which would technically take at least 3 transactions, 2 approvals, and 1 swap, you don't think about that either because it just got batched. All enabled because we have the Nexus as the in between of that. So it's like it's 3 different things that would work really well together to achieve a seamless UX that most people wouldn't even realize they just did like they just use 3 different protocols technically.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of a UX based application. Well, service infrastructure. I don't know. Terms are a little hard sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. I mean, like Nexus
It's
is also
really cool
gas.
though.
I mean, I would say Nexus
It's
is
gasless.
also, yeah, we are gasless. So, in that sense,
Okay,
you
that's
wouldn't
even
really,
better.
yeah. So
Wow.
you don't have to worry about gas on most chains as well. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
So
is
like,
cool. I haven't even noticed that part. Wow.
But
I
I've
think
I
the
heard.
only,
think
Who goes
sorry,
first?
go ahead. I don't know. You go first, Snow.
No,
Let's
no,
because
let
your
Robin.
rants are always fun.
No, no, no. I want to hear what Robin was going to say. He started speaking.
no, I was just gonna say like I think the only part where gas would be required for is for the approval or allowances for the
Mm-hmm.
tokens, but
Hmm.
after that the transactions itself are gasless. We can't do anything about the approval part. So
Hmm.
uh, yeah, so will you give infinite
Not yet.
allowance? Or, I mean, yeah.
No, 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 no. We don't do that here.
No, I was going to go off on a rant. Yeah, before that's why I wanted the Robin to say what he was going to say because I didn't want him to forget. But
Go to
this
the
is
next part.
actually something. Yeah, this is actually something that I have been ranting about since generally since like I basically joined crypto, which was the fact that everybody always talks about how they want basically the masses to come to crypto, and they want like crypto to be the future. We want retail in. We want all these people to be using crypto and all these apps and buying stuff, and but it's so difficult. And so it's like you cannot possibly believe that the masses are going to come and like retail is going to come when everything is such an incredible pain to use. So before people like and yeah, and like one of the things that Alpha mentioned was all the coin launch pads. We had NFT launch pads. Now we have like 1,000 different prediction market apps. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, before we make all these different things, we're going, and also like base, like they're wanting to coin everything, everything has to be a coin, everything's going to be a prediction market, whatever. It's like before anything, we have to make all this stuff easy to use for the normal like web 2 user who doesn't know anything about crypto, because it's like there is such a huge gap in um like knowledge that you have to be ready to like cross. There's like so much knowledge that you have to acquire before you can even be safely in crypto, because even now it's like so easy to get scammed. And it's like, we cannot expect the masses to come when everything is so difficult. And that's like, and it's like, yeah, and this is one of my biggest rants. It's like we need things to be easy to use. It's like, and a lot of people, when I talk about this, when I talk about how I want things to be easy to use and how I want it all to be like seamless, and like I don't want it to like take me like a whole day to do, and I don't want to be frustrated with it. People are like, well, why are you in crypto? Like, what, we're in crypto because we love the tech. And it's like, sure, like okay, like yeah, it's like I don't even, I'm somebody who I cannot say that I love to tech. I love collecting NFTs, and I like, I love digital art, and I want it to be easy. And sometimes, I like to buy coins sometimes, or like I want to buy, like, participate in like whatever my next favorite project is doing, but I want it to be easy. I'm not here to like just, I don't know, just to rack my brains for 2 days to understand something. It's like I want it to be easy, and that's how most people are. Most people don't want to use something, but then they have to learn for like a week before they can even figure it out. Because if you don't know anything about crypto, there's a huge learning curve. Like it's not something like, it's not easy to get into. And so some like stuff like what Avail is doing, to me it's so incredibly important, because stuff has to be easy to use. And yeah, Sin says I'm in crypto because I love the JPEGs. And yeah, it's like we all try to make a bag here and there. But a lot of people are like me, that we just love our JPEGs. I love NFTs, I love collecting, I love art. And like Sins is just like me, he loves his NFTs, love collecting. And it's like, I'm not like a techie person. I want everything to be easy. And it's like, it's so important for stuff like this to be worked on and to exist and to be like, to be pushed and to be integrated and everything, because we need for it to be, it all has to be easy for the normal person to even want to attempt to buy something here. And it's like, it's just so important. And that's why what you guys are doing is so cool. And that was my rant.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love the rant. I agree with everything you said. So
It's a good rant. It's a good rant. It's funny. I don't know. We can see. I put my title there as "Hey Cabal Warlord." So um, it's a very similar thing with me and Snow. We tend not to be the nicest of people, especially with regards to any sort of projects. We tend to be very brutal, very opinionated, and very much that's cool, but and I think one of the most interesting parts and maybe frustrating to me also is that like with at least with regards to like Avail, Nexus, and all of these things, it's been hard for me to find something to fund. That's a problem.
that's good. That's good. Let's go.
And I think that's a really good problem to have because I can't say that often. I really can't say that often. More often than not, it's like it's so easy to find something that you can very clearly see is a huge problem that other people will maybe glaze over, they'll just ignore it. But at least from my experience with Avail, even just like with interacting with the people from Avail, it's been hard for me to find something where I'm like, but like I don't know, man. Things aren't adding up, and it's more often than not that it's like, okay, maybe I just didn't read the document properly on that one. That was my fault, and it's crazy. It's cool though. I will say it's fun to actually. It's nice to actually find to have infrastructure that is so really open, easy to understand, and accessible that it's hard to find any problems with it, or even find any problems really. Like you said with technically you could say like with the approvals, that is still going to be a little bit of a point of friction, and but that's nothing that you can do. It's nothing that really Avail can remove because that's just how the EVM works. It's not so
Yeah.
much an issue on SVM because all their transactions are batch with approval anyway. But for EVM, that's still a really big pain point, but that's not something that the Veil can fix. That's something that has to be fixed on Ethereum as a whole. And I believe I've read some research papers and some ERCs that are working on removing it or making at least that part a little easier, but that's not something that's going to be done in the short term. So we'll always have, at least in the interim, this part where the only real friction is going to come from those approvals. But that's like you said, you could technically always give an infinite allowance, but we don't do that because we understand the safety risk with those things. So it was definitely a joke from Robin's part. Please don't give infinite approvals.
Yeah, obviously it was just a joke. I mean, yeah, infinite approvals never a good idea, but yeah, it's the
Never,
only way at this
really.
point. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the really frustrating part is that you have to give infinite approvals if you want things to be seamless, because otherwise you're constantly going to have to sign the approval. But at least that's a problem that honestly can and should be solved on the wallet side, because the wallets are the things that the people interact with. That's how you
mhm.
do all your transactions. I mean, you don't expect like your banking app technically takes care of a lot of the things on your side too. When you do transactions, whatever, the bank takes care of most of that. So the wallets, which are the infrastructure providers for people to interact with crypto, should be the part that's fixing these sorts of issues, that's resolving these sorts of things. And I'm going to be speaking to Ambi about that sooner or later too, because they've been also really very, very good at responding to feedback. But like that's kind of one of the only main pain points that anyone would maybe come across with using something with Nexus. But you wouldn't even know you're using it, which is another cool part because generally going to be using your usual things. You may be going to be, I know I'm working with a project and I was telling them about Nexus and I was like, look, we're going to be doing a token sale. Use Nexus, make it easy for people to be able to move their funds over so that
Mm.
they can, buy the token. I mean, make it easy. Just make it easy. And he
Make
was
it
like, okay,
simple.
but like we're going to be a new token. I was like, so
Make
what's
it
the
easy.
problem? It's the infrastructure is there. Nexus is there. The infrastructure is available for you to be able to make it possible that even though the token is going to be going live on this day, you don't need there's no pre-approved list of tokens. Like Nexus is an infrastructure that plugs into what you're building. It's not the thing that decides what you're building, which is a
Mhm.
really which is the kind of key differentiator between a lot of things also, is that it's not you're not limited by what Avail decides to list, and you could say.
Mm.
Like I'm not going to plug in Avail, plug in Nexus, and then only your list of like 50 tokens I can use or 50 projects I can use. I can plug it into anything. And that's a really cool distinction, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah, because you can literally like plug it into, like you said, like anything, it doesn't matter that it's a new token. So it's like, why not make it easy for people? I think that should be the first priority of everybody. Anybody who's doing anything new, that should be their first priority, is just making it as easy as possible for people to be able to interact with whatever you're doing. It's kind of like It's like going back into my slingshot rant. It's like I was a token launched on Saturday that I've been really into, and I couldn't figure out how to buy it like really quickly because first of all it like launched on Solana. Then I had to like make sure like what platform it was on, like what was the right contract, and then like if I wanted to buy it, I had to bridge some ETH to like or like swap some ETH for Solana, and then it was just complicated. And then I was just sitting there thinking about Slingshot not being able to work, and I was like, if Slingshot was still a thing, I could have bought this already. I wouldn't have been like sitting here trying to figure this out. So it's like anybody who is building anything, their first question should always be, how do we make this the most accessible to people and the most easy to use? And it's like, I don't think that a lot of people building stuff in crypto are actually like asking that question. I really don't, because when you interact with whatever they're doing, it's obvious that they didn't ask themselves that.
Did they even use the thing? That's the other question. Did they
Yeah, it's
even
like,
use
do you
it?
even use your own thing?
Yeah. Sometimes that's another part of the problem. Now, I'll assume that with at least with Nexus and on the Avail side, the developers actually use what is being built, so they know exactly how everything works, how the interface works, and especially with integrating into things. Like I know, we had the one showcase up here, and then there's Clover, obviously, and then there was, I think it was Monad Fast Bridge. So
Hmm.
there's multiple products that people can technically try out, Avail, well, Nexus, and see just how it all works. And with each of those, I would expect that the developers actually have to go and try it out, see how it works, make sure that it's working properly, so they have an in-depth, first-person perspective of how well it works or where the pain points could possibly be, which is good. We don't see that, unfortunately. Most of the time with crypto things, people seem to just not know how what they building works. I don't know, like on the front end, which is weird. Like, what do you mean you're building something and you don't know how the user goes through the whole process? Um, I think what was it, Kalshi or something? One of the people was like, "Oh, I don't use the product." I was like, "What do you mean you don't use the product,
Oh,
but you chilling it?"
I know what you're talking about. So it's I know exactly who you're talking about. Okay, so I think though that guy he's
Nice
ISO beast.
JOBs. There we go.
Yeah.
That
And
guy.
he works, I don't know, marketing. I don't know what he does for them. He does something, because it's like we never know what these people do for these projects because it's always some kind of like a obscure, like, I don't know. They just got hired. It's like, okay, you got hired. Congrats. But he was making a meme about what it was like to use the project, and then in the comments he says, because somebody was like, oh, well, is that how it actually feels? And he said something like, well, I don't really know because I don't use it. And it's like, well, if you don't know what it's like because you're not using it, well, how are you going to make a joke about it? Because you don't even know what it's like. Okay, so it's like your joke is not funny to start with, and I don't have a problem talking about these people because whatever, I don't care. They could exclude me out of their circle. um but it's like, then I think he's not allowed to use it because like it's basically like to protect the company from like insider trading or something. And I really doubt that they're like actually that much into not like doing insider trading, because they probably are, because it's like, who doesn't? I'm just going to assume, like, I don't know. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. But anyways, this guy that works for Call, she doesn't use the product, but he goes on the timeline, makes jokes about what it's like using the product. And it's like, okay, what just don't say it. Keep it a secret. You shouldn't have not told us. We should have not known that you can't even use your own product that you're working for, and you're so bullish about, and you're trying to get everybody to use it, but you can't use it.
I think now we know Robin doesn't actually use Nexus, he just talks about them.
Nah, actually, though, like I use Nexus a lot nowadays. Like, I mean, yes, I was recommending this video again. The point is that I have to make all of these demo videos showcasing Nexus.
Mhm.
And that means to actually show what Nexus can do, I need to first put my funds across multiple chains so that when I show this unified balance, oh, it looks pretty with all these different chains. And I use Nexus. So like it's not me who's doing the showcase. It's like I'll have a guest on board and they'll do the showcase, and I have to actually give them the funds so that it looks pretty, right? And what I could normally do is like send it to my wallet, but I actually go to the showcase app and like transfer it because I don't want to think about where I've got funds on. I just like, okay, this is the destination chain I want, this is the token I want to send. Boom, I send it over, and I send it over multiple times to like to multiple tokens so that where the showcase kind of when I shoot the showcase video with them, it looks good. But like I use it actually now on a daily, if not daily, on a thrice or four times. Um, I'm in development as
Really
well. We're
good.
building a lot of development projects. So yeah, I mean we have to use our products, otherwise we won't know what's not working. I would say. Um,
True.
Definitely. And always, if anyone, and I think the problem is that not problem. I think the caveat here is we use our products internally so much sometimes that we are used to it. So it's always good to get fresh
Mhm.
eyes. So like someone when
Mhm.
someone first said that, hey, I tried this, it was not working. But when I tried it myself, it was working for me. So I'm like, oh wait, this is not like something must be wrong. So we had to, send it over to product team and figure out what happened there, right? I don't know if it was a wallet issue or whatever issue it was. There was some issue, and like we were used, like for us, we are used to the processes always, so that we might turn a blind eye to some things. So like because we're so
Mhm.
used to it, so when someone else, when new people use our products or like use these demo apps or showcase apps, we get better feedback. And I think that is really getting that feedback loop is very important for us. Yeah, that's why like when you did mention that, hey, this is really I want to try this. Like a lot of Avail people came in, like stepped in to support you, to like, figure out like hey, this is how you can use it. If it does not work, I came into your DMs and like helped you out there, all of that. So yeah, always there to support. I think that's what matters at the end of the day. Users, like you use the social showcase app once, and now you've become a fan. I hope you've been talking about a lot, and I love that, right? And that's what matters. We need to get that word of mouth out there, get people
Mm-hmm.
build on Avail. So yeah, that's what I'm really happy about.
Yeah, that's
I
really very important. No, go ahead, Alpha.
I'm definitely a fan now.
I'm a fan now too. It's like I didn't know that much about it, just because I like am slow to like get onto things, but I'm a fan of it now too, and I think it's really great. Um,
I
and
think
it's
Snow
like I like.
should definitely give it a try too, so she can also provide some feedback.
Oh, absolutely. I will be trying it out to learn more about how like to use it and stuff like that, because it's like it's to me it's like it's really cool. Sounds like super. It's something that I think is very important for the space. And so I'll definitely be trying it out. Um, and something that's very also important is like you said, Robin, like to be responsive to feedback from the people who are using your platform. I think that's just so important, and I also see so many other founders of like whatever projects that they're building, they just kind of tune out the people who are actually using your platform or whatever you're doing, and it's like, well, without those people, you really are nothing. It's like you need those users, and you need to be able to have like a good constructive conversation with them. And I also understand that in Web3 a lot of people are really negative, and like a lot of them are negative for no reason. But it's kind of like if you're like a founder or you're working for a project, you have to be able to be like to discern like who's actually has some good feedback and is trying to help against somebody who's just out there and trying to just say bad things for like whatever reason. But I feel like that's very important, and I feel like you guys have done such a good job, because if like Alpha had a good experience with like talking to you, that's like the main way of like getting people. It's just like if somebody has a question, or like if somebody is trying to interact with whatever you're doing, and you're just being really like helpful and nice, and like are able to kind of even like laugh at, even if they're not having a good time, sometimes that's like important too. So like you guys are doing a great job. I don't know. That's so important. I feel like
Yeah,
people don't
thank you.
forget to like have fun sometimes and like just get too into, I don't know, just being weird.
Yeah, definitely. Um, oh, I just realized they there's actually one of the demo apps has a bridge and stake like on Aave and bridge and supply USDC on Aave. Like that's so cool. That's actually really cool. But um, I think look at this. I think it was this one, yeah, Monad Fast Bridge. So this is literally just a bridge, uh,
Mm-hmm.
as in the terminology of Avail, a fast bridge where you use Nexus,
Mm-hmm.
you set the destination chain, which is now obviously Monad. Maybe we should rename it just to Fast Bridge. And then you're just like, okay, I'm gonna move all my funds over to Monad, and boom, it's like there you
Mm-hmm.
go. Gets the
Yeah.
bridge details, you do the accept, it tells you the fees and everything, and there you go. Tells you which change it's coming from too. Like I currently have 50 USDC on Arbitrum, 2.9 on BNB. Hey, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
It's even taking my small balance. Wonderful.
That's
This
really cool.
I think what that's actually a really cool point right there, right? Um, I don't know. We've all had dust on multiple chains. Like we've all had those situations where we have like $1 on chain Y, $1 on chain X, 30 cents on chain whatever, and you're just like, oh my goodness, I need to like get $5 onto this chain. It's just like it's not even a lot. You just want to move all of that over to one chain, and it's usually such a pain. Like if you want to do it, you have to bridge each thing individually, one at a time, and it's so annoying. You get through the second one, you're like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. This is such an annoying process. And I can just already see, like, just as a demo application itself, I'd probably just vibe code it in a week and be like, here you go. Aggregate gas, done. Powered by Avail Nexus.
I mean, you could,
Uh,
you could. I mean, the SDK is live, so like, feel free to build out anything you want. If you feel any issues there, you can reach out to me as well. The Monad Fast, actually, something we wanted to build internally. Like, it was almost not a hackathon project, but like something we want to contribute more. And mainnet was happening last
mhm,
month. We were like, you know what, we should build something for them because it's one of the biggest L1 launches this year, and the community is amazing. So we were like, hey, here's this bridge. You can bridge your liquidity to Monad day one. Let's go, and that's how we built that out. And I mean, I think Monad community has also been really responsive to Nexus. Like I showed the Clobber
mhm,
app, they are an external team and they have integrated Nexus on their decks directly on us, right? So, and there are multiple other chains. There's Atlantis. There's a bunch of other, applications on Monad that have like gone on mainnet with us, which is really cool. They're like I feel like people who are
mhm,
ready to try these new experiences, like builders who are ready to create or experiment with these newer experiences are really bullish to me, because it's not like your traditional app, right? Like so the way we like to call it is, we when you integrate Nexus, you become a liquid app than
mhm,
a normal app. A liquid app because now you get liquidity from any chain, right? And that's powerful. And yeah, I mean, a lot of Monad apps, maybe because they are very receptive to trying new things out, have actually gone ahead and integrated with us, which is really cool to see.
it is
And yeah, I
good.
mean, hopefully, I mean, we're soon going to be launching even on Mega ETH and a few other more newer chains that's coming
Mhm.
in, uh, and other projects as well. So, I mean, stay tuned for that. I would say, follow us to make sure you're updated on that.
And just to put it back up there, if you want to check them out, there's the just scan the QR code. You can go check it out. I think that's the website. I need to double check. Yeah, that's the website. So if you want to check out the website, go. I should have done the X also. Damn it! That's a fail
Oh,
on my
that's fine.
part.
That's fine. The X is there on the website, like you can find the X. Or if you, yeah, otherwise on my X itself, I tag Avail project so much that you can find, uh, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you've put Avail projects X on my PFP, so or
Yeah,
no?
yeah, at the Bell project that is it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, just go to Avail project on X and you'll find it. Yeah, very
Really
cool stuff.
cool.
You made some really cool points also there with like Mona is a relatively new, like they literally just went live. Mega is also going to go live very soon. I think it's like next month. Anyway, yes. They doing the Eclipse thingy, the incubation thing, whatever it's called. So they should be going live soon, already. So like because they are new, they kind of have this little bit of a broader mindset where they introducing something that's new. They because they already knew, they just like okay, new technology, we knew we might as well use it. It's going to be better for us. There's no thought process of, oh, we've already had this thing out for like 2 years. So we maybe have to adjust our infrastructure to make room for this, which is probably an issue with a few other, long-standing dApps and stuff like that. But with something new on a new chain, it's just like, what do you have to lose? Access
Yeah,
to the wider liquidity, really? You getting access to that, you're not losing it. So it's a very big difference there on that. Like they're not
yeah.
already established, they can just add it, be done with it. And that's not to say that things are that are already there can't add it. I don't think it should be that hard. Like
It's
I mean,
actually
I've looked
just,
at the documentation.
yeah, it's just a front end SDK. Like the cool part about Next that I think most other protocols don't have is that it does not require any backend change. Like you don't have to change your
Mhm.
contracts or backend infrastructure to use Nexus. It's just a front end. So like whatever app you have on the front end, import our SDK and use our functions, and you can use it. And it's as simple as that. So the problem with, I guess, more established companies is that it's a large design change that it's just hard to convince them to
Oh my
work.
goodness.
Okay.
Sorry.
When you're a, no worries, no worries. And when you're a newer app, obviously you have more leeway to experiment stuff out, see how things goes. So yeah, that's kind of also I think one of the bottlenecks, but it shouldn't be. Like we'll soon. I think once we have a lot more, I guess newer apps. I guess once more newer apps try us out and people see the experience that enabled, the larger apps will come asking, right? I think that's what happens always. Like you see the smaller players innovating, and then you suddenly see the larger players wanting to get into the action, and that's always been the case in any technology. I think so. We'll say.
True, true, very true. Oh, maybe I'm not sure if you guys are maybe planning something, but like it would be really cool if you guys had like a list of all the, I suppose, dApps that currently have Avail integrated. I think that would be really cool just to be able to go, okay,
Yeah,
go to Avail's website, go to like a showcase. Is that what people usually call it? Or a repository of all the applications or chains that have Avail integrated in some way. I feel like that would be a really fun way to go and be like, okay, I know I can just go check there, see, okay, that is Avail enabled. Let's go use that instead of, the cousin that we all know and love. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that
definitely.
I would like that. I would definitely like that. I feel like people would
Yeah, I
love
think
that too.
we're working on that ecosystem list right now. Like I said, it's in the works. So it'll come soon. It'll come soon. It's just that, yeah,
Yeah,
just working on that
might
part.
be hard to keep up as more projects integrate though. Like
Yeah.
every day takes more projects, like, oh no, we can't keep up anymore.
Yeah, no, we will have that. I think that's a really good suggestion, good feedback. Pass that back to the team as well to get that done faster, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, would be cool, really cool. And looks like we lost Snow. I wonder if she's having a little bit of connection issues.
No
Let me
worries.
just try to DM her quickly. But I think we have reached a pretty good point too. If we can get Snow back soon, then we can close things off. But it's been really interesting just talking about Avail, about Nexus especially, and all the really cool things about it, how it will really improve the crypto UX that we've gotten so used to. We've really gotten used to having bad UX in crypto. And it's going to be nice to finally not have a bad UX. While you were away, Snow, I was just saying that um, we've gotten used to this part of crypto being just really horrible. Like the UX is so bad, you kind of get used to you. People have become complacent, you could say,
Mm-hmm.
complacent in having to deal with all these bridges, having to deal with um, like just all the annoying parts of crypto that you can think of. We've all gotten used to it because we've been doing it for so long, and people that aren't used to it are going to find it frustrating. It's too many problematic points, too many, what's the word? I had the word for it, but it's such a good word too. Too many um, touch points that make things difficult to get through. Um, and we really need to work towards better UX, which Avail is definitely doing really well with Nexus. It's something that's, as Robin said, it's literally just the front end. Like the only change is the front end. You don't even really need to think about the back end. The whole part of Nexus is that it's easy to integrate because it's basically just the front end. It's just you being able to get access to the system that Avail has already created through the MPC networks and the MPC network and the open intent framework that they already built in. It's just the front end. There's nothing really complex about it. It's a really good way to take something that you already have, make it even better. And um, Snow could probably even code out something really fun in a weekend too that likely anyone would use because Snow is a very big UX person. So it's amazing. It's definitely a cool thing. Oh, and also while you were away, I was telling Robin it would be really cool if there was like a showcase of all the applications that have Nexus integrated. So
Mm-hmm.
for people like us that want to just have life easy, we can just go check there, look for something that we want to use, and then boom, go use that.
Yeah.
If we go to a Dex that has a whale in, we know, okay, our life is going to be easy. I don't need to stress about where my funds are coming from. It's
Mm-hmm.
like just it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
It does.
But I think we've gone for quite a while now. I think an hour and 60 minutes is good. So if we have any closing remarks from any side or any final questions, I think that would be good to get those out now. Or statements, things, whatever.
I got all my rants out. I think it was good. And I'm just really I am going to try it out. I'm going to try Veil out, and I'm going to be paying more attention to what they're doing because I'm really interested, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing them being integrated in like a lot more stuff. And I'll be I'll be rooting for you guys. I'm like hoping that, you guys can just keep getting like integrated into more stuff to make everybody's life easier. And as I said, that's like the most important thing for me. If there's an app out there and I go back to using it like on a regular basis, that's what a good app is. It's something that when it's gone, you feel it missing. So, a good app is something that actually like makes your life better and easier, and you use it all the time. So, it's really cool.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you guys want to try out some of the live apps, like other than the showcase and demo apps, right? Like live apps in production, just ping me later and I'll send you a list. Like I know it's not on the website right now, and I'll get that. I'll make that happen. But regardless, I'll like give you a list of all of the live apps on production that you can use, so like you can actually get the Nexus experience. Uh,
Hmm.
Other than the demo experience, right?
Yeah,
Like not
yeah,
the demo app itself.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
anyone would want to try it out because it's really, it just makes so much sense.
yeah. It's really cool.
Definitely.
And the fact that you guys are going to be, whenever Mega East launches, you guys are going to be like integrated. I think you said, or like they're going to be working.
We're targeting. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
working on it.
That's really cool. So that's a big thing because Mega East, everybody's been looking forward to Mega East, and
Hmm.
it's
Yeah, me too.
gonna be super. You too.
Me too. I mean, I
I
can't wait. I'm
I've been
excited.
ignoring it, but I know it's a big thing. I know that a lot of people are excited about it, but it's like another chain. I'm like, oh, get it away! I can't deal with another one.
That's usually my response to everything also. Oh, another chain, great, because that's exactly what crypto needs. Like that's usually my response to things. And that's basically how I am with Mega ETH also for the most part. But you see, the thing is when you ask people questions and they answer you properly, or they just carry themselves very well, that leaves a good impression and it
Mm-hmm.
makes you want to come back. And Braid has done that wonderfully. So that is
Mhm.
why I'm not. Um, I've also made the statement where it's like I would like to fight Mega ETH, but it's like every time you talk, you say something to Braid, he responds, and you're just like, okay, how am I going to fight it now? He's literally always answering every question, and that's kind of a lot of what I'm getting from Avail too. Like I get the same from Avail. It's like you look for something, you find an issue or something, you ask about it, you say something about it, and people respond. They don't ignore it. They don't say, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," or ignore. Like I had an issue where for some reason I just couldn't connect to the damn what demo, and I was like, it's frustrating me because it just worked. Like I messaged the Robin and I was like, I literally had it working 5 minutes ago and now it's not working anymore. And it didn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense. I don't think any of us have ever figured out what the issue was, but it's very possible it's just because I have too many extensions. I have like 5 wallets on all of my browsers. I have MetaMask, Ambire, um, Phantom. I have like extensions like what's that, Pocket Universe. So I have all of these things constantly because I'm always trying out different things, trying to find what works, what doesn't work, what has a good UX, what doesn't have a good UX. And also because I work, well, a lot of the time I'm like a first person that people will speak to when they have issues, especially with wallets. So I'm trying to always keep up with everything, know exactly how every wallet works, how every platform works, just so that I can be that person where someone asks like, "Oh, I'm having problem with this," I'll give a response very quickly because I do the what do you call it, customer support, I guess. You could call it customer support in a sense. And I like knowing things because then I can give feedback. I can rant about it. I can say, but this is great, this is bad. Me and MetaMask, we have a very very interesting relationship because MetaMask. But it's like
Yeah, very much.
I I lost my train of thought in a moment. It's just like it's all of those things, and you with MetaMask, I'm going to use them as an example. They don't respond well to feedback, and that's annoying. But Braid, he's been really good with responding to feedback. He's been very good at responding to questions. Avail has been the same. Anytime you ask a question, someone responds. If there's a problem, someone will get back to you. It's a very much part of like you can't just have your tech. You can't just have what you've built. You have to be able to be good with actually talking to people, to being able to respond to issues, to taking customer feedback. Because at the end of the day, anyone that uses Nexus is technically a customer of Avail because they are the people that are actively, trying out things, using it, that are going to go and tell their friends about it. That are going to tell their friends, oh, go use Clover because Clover makes things easy. That are going to go and be an evangelist and like I'm basically doing right now, where I'll go tell people like use Nexus. You build an application, use Nexus. It's a very much a fact of like the way that you conduct yourself with other people and the way you show other people like this is how we respond to things. It will fall back, it will come back, and tell other people, okay, this is who you'd want to work with. These are the kinds of people that you'd want to integrate because they are not going to turn a blind eye. They're not going to throw deaf ears. They are going to actively respond, actively work on issues that you bring up and make things better for you. That's a very much a secondary aspect of the crypto UX. UX can only get better when you have a good feedback loop.
That's true.
So yeah, that's my rant on why I'm actually excited for Omega ETH.
Love it.
I think there was one other thing. Oh my goodness, if only my brain could work properly. Um, I think it was yes. So with Mega ETH launch, Nexus is going to be there day one. So you guys have been working with like the Mega ETH people on getting things sorted now during this stage, this early stage. I can't remember what they call it, like the pre-mainnet, I guess you could say.
Yeah, yeah. So we are working with them to basically enable it. Ideally, we would have it on day one, but again, I can't say too much about it. I just know that, like, I don't think I can say too much about it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll most probably be there on day one, if everything goes well. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's very exciting too. That's very exciting. You know, perks of newer chains, perks of new things. You can
Yeah.
integrate new things easily.
But yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Um, do you have any final rants for us now?
No, no, I'm done. I wanted to hear if like Robin had anything to say at the end, if he had some final thoughts, or like if he wanted to talk about something that we didn't cover.
Yeah, yeah, please.
No, not really. I think we. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, not really. I think we did go over most of the stuff we did. Uh, I mean, we covered the entire philosophy that we have. Right? Like, we're not just here to like improve cross-chain transactions. We want to basically, or how do I put it, and fragmentation as a whole, right? Like, it's not just about becoming cross chain and like just supporting liquidity across multiple chains. It's the
Hmm.
core philosophy is to end fragmentation of blockchain liquidity and user experience, right? Like, and we want to build that unified operational universe where like networks networks, like when users use a network or use an app, it does not feel like they're using something completely different, right? Like
Hmm.
it, like the entire philosophy is like, if I'm using a Netflix from like an HBO Max, right? It does not matter where, like if I'm using an Amazon cloud or like a Google cloud, it does not matter where the application is deployed or the processes are running. Users just want to stream and watch movies. Like, it does not matter where these two different apps are deployed themselves. And that's kind of the world that we're building towards. Like, we started off with this DA, data availability thing, which we still have, and that the thesis was every app will eventually become an app chain, sort of a thesis. And the intermediary right now is L2s.
Yeah.
And what if we need to have these app chains? App have high liquidity. Like, they're not going to be high. We have now Hyperliquid and Lighter and a few others coming up, which is very trading specific. And even if it's not trading specific as well, right? Like, if it's not trading specific, it's not going to have high liquidity. And how do you get this liquidity? How do users not have to worry about, oh, it's an app chain, I don't have enough funds on that chain, I don't want to be bridging to that chain if I want to use that app, and all of that nonsense. If we want to build that world where, okay, you have this nexus layer which is going to connect all of these chains, so if an app chain, if an L2 comes up, they can instantly tap into all this other liquidity, all these other users that that is existing on Web3 already today. And yeah, I think that's going to be really powerful. I mean, I think we will have specialized chains for particular apps in the future. Maybe not now, the infrastructure is not there yet, but we will have
Hmm.
that. And these L2s, general purpose L2s that we see, are just the intermediary. And we are kind of building a world to bridge that liquidity, bridge that experience, and make it all feel seamless. And that's what we're doing here. Yeah, I mean, also follow us on X for more updates. Check out the website. Check out I create a lot of content as well on the side for Avail. So yeah, I mean, if you're a builder, we're doing, if you're a builder, building any application on any chain, reach out to us. We'll help you integrate Nexus. And if you're just a builder who wants to try things out, we do like we're there at many hackathons. So like, if you see us at any of the hackathons, feel free to come and build on us. I'll always be there to help you guys out. So yeah, that was my not rant, but my monologue about Avail. So
It was
Good
good.
monologue.
Good.
It was definitely really good. Um, okay, so we spoke a lot about all the good things on Avail with the Nexus and everything. So it was a really fun, very insightful conversation. I think it was we've got a lot of awesome clipping worth content from Snow also. So this is I think this is a really fun, very informative and definitely something that hopefully other people can come see. Maybe it'll convert them over also to the Nexus. Um,
I do hope so. I do really hope so. Yeah.
and
And
I,
it
I
was
really
really.
like.
I'm sorry. It was really really fun talking to you, Robin. I had a lot of fun, and thank you guys for letting me rant about stuff.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Likewise.
We love rants here. We love it. Um, So, okay, before we go, tomorrow, me and Smile and sorry, my brain is not functioning right now. Me and Losner will be having our weekly ducking around and finding out live stream also. We used to do it as as a what's it called? A space. There we go, a space. But we've gone to this format, this seeing our wonderful faces format. So that will
We're
be tomorrow
complaining and
for
stuff.
anyone that's watching, catching the recording. Please feel free to come, listen in. I will preface that this was a very relaxed, very chill, like the whole title was chilling in the Nexus with Avail. We have focused very much on what Avail is, what Nexus is, how it works, and all of those things. Don't expect that with our ducking around, please. Please don't. It is not a very how can I say, it's not a very, we don't say a lot of nice things. Let's put it like that.
We complain a
So
lot.
we complain a lot. We have a lot of rants that are not as positive, you could say. If we're going to rant about something, it's more than likely going to be about how frustrated we are about something. So,
Hmm.
for anyone that's watching, or even you, Robin, if you'd like to, if you have the
Yeah.
time, obviously, because I think it's very late for you at that time, because it's
Yeah.
like 8, 9 p.m. our time, which should probably be like almost midnight for you, most
Hmm.
likely. Um, but if anyone wants to come and have a look at that tomorrow, that will be live on my and Snow's X. So please come, have a listen, have a look or whatever, take part in the conversation. You- If fight us on things, even if you'd like go ahead, just do it. We will probably say something, and if you don't like it, you are free to disagree. We're not going to say you can't do that. So disagree as much as you want, or agree as much as you want. It is very much just us sharing our opinions on things and just talking about all the craziness that goes on in crypto, all the drama, all the non-dramas, all the cool stuff randomly. Like I know last week I was talking about like, are we going to be speaking with you this week, Whale and everything. I was telling people, I was just like, it's going to be so cool to actually learn about the whale, speak to someone from it, have like a live conversation. So yeah, don't expect a lot of kind words. Expect rants, expect just raw, unfiltered. These are pain points in crypto, and they should be solved because that's what it is. It's very much about what kind of things are problematic in crypto, how can those be solved, and how we can go about that. Um, but yeah, for anyone that wants to come join, please come have a listen. You'll get the raw and unfiltered. Um, but maybe also on that, maybe we should have Robin again. Maybe in like, I don't know, it's Christmas next week and then it's New Year's the week after that. I don't know, like in 3, 4 weeks again. And then we can speak about not just Nexus, if you are up for it, but more of like the broader spectrum of interoperability, because obviously you guys are very much focused on that. You yourself have likely tried a lot of the other interoperability protocols, and you know what's missing, what's there, and what could be fixed, and how Nexus does things differently. So maybe we could have a conversation about that, and maybe even challenge things of like I can, because I know there's like EIL that looks like it's going to be amazing. We have open intents. Just see what's different, what how
Mhm.
things can complement each other, or how it would be competing. If you up for that, I think that would be a really cool conversation too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
It would be
There
fun.
you
I
go.
feel it would be fun. We would have fun, and yeah, Robin's really fun to talk to. So if he's up for it, we can do it definitely.
Yeah, let's
Snow's
do
going
it.
to
Let's
bring all the questions that time. Don't worry. Snow will bring all
hopefully,
the questions.
hopefully
I'll
I'm not
bring the man.
cancelled for it, but hopefully I don't get cancelled for it. But
No,
I'm down for it.
Look,
no,
we
no.
haven't gotten cancelled yet, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that
I'm still
would be
here
good.
after all the stuff
Awesome.
that I've said. I say a lot of
All good
things,
there. All good. Yeah.
but
Only
yeah,
positive things.
we could definitely do that if Robin's up for it. It would be so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And
Okay.
with that said, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your time with us. And we appreciate it highly. So enjoy the rest of your day, evening, morning. It's like morning in the US,
Yeah.
afternoon for me, evening for the other parts of the world. So just enjoy whatever's left of your day, morning or whatever, you know. If you're starting, enjoy the rest of the day. But it's midday, like words.
Just enjoy. Just enjoy. Yeah.
Just enjoy it. Thank you guys for watching us.
Thank you. Bye.